Hey, Internet. What's up, Internet? I shouldn't check my phone. I'm like, oh, what's going on Twitter? Just kidding. Yeah, that's usually what's going on Twitter. There's a fire in a Vegas hotel.
4 a.m. Last I heard, 5 dead, 13 injured, 30 to 35 displaced.
That sucks. Yeah. Wait, they're displaced, but it's a hotel?
They were clearing out the motel as they were investigating.
Oh, it was a motel.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like, oh, a bunch of people were at the Wynn and they had to leave. And I'm like, well, how are they displaced? Nobody lives in the Wynn. Maybe Steve Wynn lives in the Wynn. Does anybody else live in the Wynn? Internet, let me know if anyone lives in the Wynn Hotel Casino, Las Vegas. Can they see the screen, the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay. I'm going to open up questions, so if you find out if anybody lives in the Wynn, let me know.
Typically get a condo at a nice hotel. Like, permanently buy a room.
All right. Well, some rich people in a nice condo might have been displaced. If anything happened at the Wynn, which it didn't happen at the Wynn, now I'm just spreading bad information.
Well, Joe Guffrey, Giuffre, says no.
Joe, okay, thank you, Joe Gofrey. Shouts to you. Thanks for watching the feed. I'm looking at the cameras just to make sure. All right, let's open this up, you guys. Letter writing is a dying art. With the advent of social media, text messaging, and ignoring your problems and loved ones, nobody writes letters anymore. Well, I'm here to push against the trend, to be like your friend who goes to a live show instead of listening to the podcast. I'm just one stupid person who'll write letters to anyone about anything, and I'd be honored to write one to you. My name is Alyssa, and this is Letter Talk. Also, that was the first time I didn't actually write down the intro, and I was like, I don't know it. Maybe I don't know it. It's like when you watch a call-in show and they don't know their 1-800 number. It was probably like that. Anywho, welcome. Welcome to everyone. I like to do an intro every time so everybody knows what's going on. So, of course, what the fuck is this? This is Letter Talk. It's a 10-minute weekly. It's more of a monthly podcast where I write letters to businesses, public figures, strangers, and friends. And, but Alyssa, can we laugh? This comes up. Sure thing, guys. Everyone's allowed to laugh. You're allowed to make noises. Also, there's this trick that people use to make yourself feel better, where you do a half smile, and even forcing yourself to do a half smile, it makes you feel better in the moment. It's like the look on Dalai Lama's face is like a half smile. That's what you do. And I mention this because feel free to half laugh and see if it leads to full laughs. Like if you're like, ha 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 ha, wow, ha 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 ha. Give it a try if you want. Or just use the half smile thing if you're feeling sad because you're not liking the show. Or you can just be genuine, you guys. It's all up to you. There's so many different possibilities. So many possibilities of noises to make. I prefer laughter. But Alyssa, can we clap? Sure thing. Like I said, noises are great. Also, people clap all the time. Fun fact, I went to see a presidential debate live. Ooh, brag, 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 brag. Also, Stephen was asking me about this earlier, so it was quite appropriate. And they have a guy there that tells you when to clap, and it's great because he comes on the stage and he goes like this. And then you're in the audience, and then you're like, yeah. It's great, and then he counts, and so you know when to stop clapping. He counts with his fingers. Honestly, it was a political debate. That was one of the more exciting parts of it. There was that, and you couldn't bring any food into the theater, but they sold food in the lobby, so it was fucked up, because it was I can buy this popcorn, but I have to stand in the lobby and eat it while there's a debate going on, and then you also couldn't leave except during the commercial break. So it's you're setting me up for failure. You're setting me up for failure. So, and I mentioned the clapping because I have an experiment going on for this particular episode, and you will see about it in a second. But basically, I posted a poll on my Twitter account earlier today and asked if I should have like an applause sign for this show. And it was like a landslide. 86% of people said yes, tell me when to clap. And 14% of people told me, don't tell me what to do. So we're going to give it a try. We're going to have a screen for clapping. But first, I will tell you this. Will you write me a letter? This is a question that comes up sometimes. And yes, I will write a letter to anybody. I'll write, like, even if I don't know anything about you. One time somebody just told, like, the only thing I knew about them was their address. And I was like, still writing you a 2-page letter that means everything to me. They happen to live in Baltimore, so I lucked out. Ooh, beer. So there's a form on lettertalkpodcast.com. And you can fill it out. It goes to a Google form. If you're worried about Google hacking it, then you don't have to fill out the form. I get it. You can also send me mail at the following address. This is also on the website, but it's 5716 Folsom Boulevard, 177 Sacramento, California, 95819. That's the UPS store. Woo! Okay, so from my experiment earlier, I have built in audience applause signs for everyone to use. And here's my first one. So I'm going to test it out if it's okay with you guys. What do you think? Okay. Yay. This is great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think this is I think it's going to be really great. Is that okay? Is everybody okay with the applause signs? Okay. Okay, cool. Then I'll turn it off. Sorry. This is for there's no boo sign. That's like implied, you know what I mean? So actually, I'm gonna start off the show. I'm really excited. We have a great new sponsor for Letter Talk, and so here we go. We have a great new sponsor. I'm so excited to do this ad read. We all know you're a busy mom, and these days, parents are juggling so much in their lives. They're trying to save money, and hey guys, I'm just doing an ad read. I'll start it over. This is my show, Letter Talk. What's up? Thanks for coming. It's live streamed, so don't worry about that. You're not on the stream. It's just me. So if you don't get up on stage, everyone will see it. You know, like it'll feel weird. I was just going over. So this is like a. I'll be super quick. It's like it's just a podcast where I write like silly letters to businesses, famous people, friends, and there's a new thing I'm trying out this month, and it's I have an applause sign I built into my presentation so everyone will know when to clap. And so I just want you to be aware what it looks like. It looks like this. That's if you, thank you. That's, if you don't know, that's I live in the past, and that's Jeb Bush, who ran for president in 2016 and had to tell people when to clap. And I was like, I get that, man. The most relatable Republican candidate that year. In the moment when he was just like, please clap. And then and then everyone was just like, I was like, I get it, Jeb. Anyway, we have a new sponsor for Letter Talk. Super fucking pumped for this. We all know you're a busy mom. And these days, parents are juggling so much in their lives. They're trying to save money and take care of the kids. And every mom knows that babies can be heavy and strollers can be expensive. That stroller's so expensive, they don't even want to put the kid in it. They're like, don't fuck up the stroller. See? Look at that. And that's why we're introducing a baby bucket. Instead of buying some complex contraption made for a small human, why don't you put your baby in a bucket? Buckets are cost effective and built to carry a lot, especially liquid. Did you know that 78% of babies are water? Well, you do now. And you'd be insane not to transport 6.24 pounds of water outside of a bucket. Come to the Home Depot, where our buckets are on sale. Buy one, get one half off. Home Depot. We care about parents. Thank you. It's almost fervent in a way that's disingenuous. And I'm not going to lie, I sort of like really excited for this next letter. Dear Teresa Jennings of Plank Road Publishing, I'm Alyssa, a former child and current amateur detective. I found out about Plank Road Publishing because I was searching for something from my past. I was looking for a song I sang in elementary school. It was kind of hard to remember, of course, because I sang these probably in like 1998 when I was 10 years old. My mind was taking me back to 5th grade in my school's music class. Now, I loved music. At the time, I was attempting to learn Weezer songs on the guitar because I was determined to be a child prodigy in something. I remember having the goal of releasing a full album before I graduated high school, and I was gonna play all the instruments on it like Dave Grohl did in that first Foo Fighters album. To this day, I only ever learned how to play the drums and I guess El Scorcho by Weezer on the guitar. But I can't sing and play. Yeah, it's like an easy song to play. It's like one riff. To this day, I only ever learned how to learn. Anyway, but I can't sing and play, and I most definitely can't play all the instruments all at once either. I see why Dave Grohl found more people to be in his band, because playing everything at once, that seems just fucking impossible. Anyway, music class was fun because I got to play random cool shit like the glockenspiel. Spiel, I don't know. Or if I was in trouble, I got to play a singular woodblock. But honestly, I didn't like the music teacher. She hated us, which was understandable. Tons of people hate kids. But you don't find that out until adulthood. Like, when you're a kid, everyone pretends to not hate you or think you're annoying. And then when you get to adulthood, people won't even pretend to not hate you anymore. And then they'll even tell you to your face you're annoying, even if you've slept with them a handful of times. Wait. I was like searching for the thing on my, it was sad. It looked like my mom typing. I was like, where is it? So I was searching for a song that we sang in a grade school music class. I knew I could identify it if I heard it. If it was in a Police lineup, I could point to the song. It was from a music recital, and all I could remember from the recital were the words information age and fellow students acting like robots. I actually found the song. It sounds like, okay, you're gonna have fun with this. Wow, right? This is a Plank Road Publishing song. Here's the video I ripped it from, by the way. I want you guys to just take a look, especially at the kid in the red shirt who gets how fucking stupid it is, and then the kid in the blue shirt who is fucking miserable. I watched the whole video, and the kid in the black shirt was like fucking on it. He was just like, yes. But like the thing I remember about this song in particular was that like nobody, like at the beginning there was, I don't know if you guys remember this part. So that was, that's like a robot voice. Like they make a robot voice in the recording, and then a kid was supposed to be the robot going information. And so the music teacher assigned kids to not be in the risers, to stand out in front of everybody and do the robot and then go information in like a robot voice. It was basically the wood block of the song. It was so depressing. But after some intense amateur detective work done by me, Alyssa, an impressive amateur detective, no, I forgot. I'm like, fuck, where's the cheer button? Let's move on. Oh, no, here we go. An impressive amateur detective. Yeah, we did it. I found the Information Age song on the website of the Plank Road Publishing Company's website, and I recognized it, and I knew it was only a piece of the puzzle. The song I was trying to think of was a different one, but with the same vibe from that same era, and I was like, maybe it was about the United States or like the capitals. I searched further, and it was called Rap of the States from an album that Plank Road Publishing did called Rap Attitude. And I would say it's anything but. And it was a song where we could basically shout to our heart's content the capitals of every state. The lyrics to the song, mind you, are basically all of the capitals in order, in alphabetical order. I actually found the song too, and I just want you guys to hear some of it. Just to see how incredible this song is that they're making children sing. Imagine these kids singing this and being so happy. Dude, you're gagging now. This is the chorus. Wait till the verses happen. This is the only verse she actually writes. Here we go.
Here we go. Montgomery, Alabama, Juneau, Alaska, Phoenix, Arizona, Little Rock.
Did you notice right at the beginning where before they start to do the verse, somebody goes, "Here we go." Pay attention to that. That is very important. Honestly, hearing this, like doing this song in elementary school, I would not be surprised if this is the reason I have such a handle on United States geography. A skill that I do not find very impressive, but for some reason astounds people I know. But I guess when you're a fucking amateur detective like me, you're harder to impress. Now, there was a track with the singing that we used to practice, and a track without that we'd use in the recital. The song had a chorus and the verses were literally just the capitals, right, in alphabetical order. And then between the chorus and the verse, there were these emphatically shouted interjections that you heard, like at the beginning, like so many interjections, like, "Here we go, moving on, one more time, Toyotathon, quid pro quo." You know, things you just yell in a song or whatever. So we practiced this song over and over again, and our music teacher never assigned anybody to sing these cool interjections. So me and another student, I think his name was Sean, possibly Scene, I don't know, which was ironic because, I mean, you couldn't with him, right? The kid needed a burger, right? Sean, so tiny, I got him. Sean or Scene, I don't know. I've only read it, never said it out loud. So me and Scene struck a deal. We decided that these exclamations needed to happen during the recital in front of our parents. I agreed with him that if he screamed, "Here we go," before the first verse, I would scream, "One more time," before the last chorus. The third student we made a pact with didn't want to scream Toyotathon because that was a holiday her family didn't celebrate. And we respected her privacy. And just so you can hear the one more time, here's some.
America, you mean the world to me. America, America, from sea to shining sea. One more time. America, America.
Can't believe she didn't want anyone to do that. So we got to the final day of the recital, and everything seemed to be going well. All the kids who, what the fuck? I hit the wrong button on my board. So the kids that had to pretend to be robots, they did the robot and they said, like they were a robot, not knowing that the future robots would sound more like, "Please press 4 for more options," or whatever. We started singing the song, and then it came time for Scene to do his part. And so the music gets there, and he like shrugs his shoulders and whimsically goes, "Here we go." Like that much strength. And like I heard it. And a few other people like near scene / Sean scene, I don't know. They heard it, but like I don't think anyone else heard it. So the part he just like looked like the shruggy emoji when he said it. He just like, here we go. Like he gets points for style, but it was subtle, and that's not my style of comedy. But okay, so a deal was a deal. He held up his end of the bargain, so I held up mine. So it got towards the end of the song. We sang the chorus, and right before we sang the chorus, it was my time to shine. In the pause of the singing, only the musical accompaniment, like behind me, I fucking screamed it. I was like, one more time! And everyone heard me. All 30-something elementary school kids on the risers on the stage turned and looked at me. I mean, there were 30 kids. There were not 30-somethings in my elementary school, so don't get that far. All the kids looked at me, and the parents in the audience, they saw it too. And the person who especially heard me was the music teacher. Now, she got so angry that her hands like stopped conducting. She stepped away from her podium and walked to stage left where I was, and she looked straight at me and screamed, "Why did you say that? I did not tell you to say that. Why did you say that?" And like, I mean, I just looked at her and like kept singing. Like, I don't know, like shit. Don't worry about that. I just kept singing, like the show must go on. I don't know, like I learned much later in life that that's a thing I would always handle, was trying to perform while having someone shout at me, the person having been unhappy with something that just happened in my performance. So I'm sending this to you, Teresa, because I know that you wrote Rap of the States. You wrote Rap of the States. You are the artist that set the intention for this song, and you had a vision for how this song would be produced. I want to know, who was in the wrong? Was I wrong to be faithful to the source material? Was it wrong of me to carry out the intention of the song without having actual instruction to do so? Or was she wrong to step away from her post as conductor to micromanage my art? Honestly, I don't know if she's still alive. This happened about 20 years ago. But my mom keeps telling me about how all my grade school teachers are dead, and for some reason she hears that news from the cashier at the grocery store. So I'm starting to believe that it's either, like, the cashier at the grocery store is either the town's coroner or a serial killer who focuses on elementary school teachers. Because she always knows who's dead. R.I.P. Miss Contry. Anyway, please let me know if you intended so I can make my worries, like, so I can take them and put them to rest. Much like would have happened. Sorry, I have to start that sentence over again. It's so fucking dumb. Anyway, please let me know what you intended so I can take my worries and put them to rest. Much like what might have happened to my elementary school music teacher at the hands of a grocery store cashier experiencing murderousness. I'm delighted to hear back from you. Thanks, sincerely, Alyssa. Thank you. We have another great ad read. So excited for all these sponsors. This ad read is particularly special to me because this is a new place that this is like my new workplace, and they agreed to sponsor my podcast, which is super cool of them. Hey, Sacramento, have you had some precious jewels stolen? Or maybe you came to work and your boss had a knife sticking out of his back and he was dead? Or maybe you're just trying to figure out where you left your keys, but you're also on a budget? Well, you're in luck. At the Winterbaum Detective Agency, we employ amateur detectives to help you on whatever case you need help on. No case is too small. We have contractors, so we pay them shit. We'll work with your budget and help you solve the mysteries in your life. Check out Winterbaum Detective Agency and figure your shit out. Thank you. That clap sign's getting out of control now. I mean, I like it because honestly, the theme of this show is out of control. So this is a postcard, and on the front, you can't see it on there, I guess, as well, but it just says bad mom cards, and it says collect the entire set. Like, I don't know. You guys want me to read you each one, or you can just find them later? You're like, I don't care. They look like shitty moms. This is like a New Yorker cartoon or something. One of them says, like, put up the St. Patrick's Day decorations one year, or didn't put up the St. Patrick's Day. Like, what does that even mean, dude? Promised to take daughter to the mall after school and then didn't. Stuff like that, you know. It's some goofy shit. So I sent this to a famous parenting expert named Allison Schaefer. And it says, "Hi, Allison. If my kid is acting up, what's a worse punishment? Making him do the robot and say in a robot voice in front of 100 parents and his peers? Or making him play a wood block in front of 100 parents and his peers? This shit's got to learn a thing or two." So I'm sending that to her. So that's good stuff. I don't even worry about that one. We can just... She'll get in. She'll be like, what the fuck is this? It'll be great. So this next letter is to Fleischman Hillard. Dear Fleischman, hey, if you're online, in chat, can you tell me how that's pronounced? Jesse, can I make this show like 3 hours long so I can get all my questions answered on the internet? Okay, tight. Fucking sorry, these shows. Eat a fucking fart, Corey and friends. I'm just gonna absorb your show like a fucking giant blob. Dear Fleischman Hillard, also, I know this is the name of your PR company, but I assume that that's just the name of the person who owns this place. Like, I'm sure if I had to name a company, I would just take my first and last names and squish them together too, because I'd put it differently, but if you look up Fleischman Hillard, it's like one word, but it's like hump case. It's like iPhone. It's very, whatever, don't worry about it. All right, so Fleischman, I don't know. I have a few things I've been thinking about. Also, I just want to let you know that this is a totally secret letter, and I'm not showing this to anybody since there's some embarrassing stuff in it. So if everyone here, just don't tell anyone. So throughout my life, I've had this wild habit of making these vast declarations about things that I want to do in my life. It's been 32 years of doing that, and 32 years of not really accomplishing them. For example, when I was in elementary school, I vowed to put an entire album with me playing all the instruments together and singing like Dave Grohl did for the first Foo Fighters album. Well, I never learned how to play the bass or guitar, and my singing is questionable and only impressive if we're all drunk at karaoke. There's a video out there, maybe 6 years ago, where I say that within 5 years I would put out a comedy album, and I didn't do that. Once I told someone I wanted to have a Comedy Central special by the time I was 25, and I didn't do that either. I told my family I was going to move to Washington, D.C., live there for 2 years, then go to L.A. and be famous. Didn't do that shit. I told my family I was going to move back home in 2016. I didn't do that until 2019. I remember being 12 years old and vowing to become a professional wrestler, and I remember being 29 years old and vowing to go to professional wrestling school to at least see what it was like. I sure as fuck didn't do either of those either. Although, like, every day I'm sad that I didn't keep my email account from my, like, tween years, because somewhere in there's a sample opinion column I sent to a pro wrestling website because I saw that they were looking for columnists. The best part about, like, my clicking send on that email, for example, is that I was thinking that they were gonna read that email and just be like, wow, these are some great takes. This person mostly just says that Chris Jericho is really cool a bunch of times, but we should really hire him to write opinion columns. And then after that, they'd find out they just hired a 12-year-old girl. It'd be wild. It's like when they put up screens so you can't see the people who are trying out to play for the orchestra, so the white guys running the place would consider hiring women and people of color. You shouldn't laugh at that because it's fucking true. The point I'm making here is that I say a lot of shit that I'm going to do all the time, and I don't do any of this shit. Like, the list is hella long, and there's a lot of stuff on it. I start things all the time. I abandon things all the time. I avoid things. I keep seeing stuff all the time about how you should tell people your goals because then you have to achieve them because you said you would do it. That's not fucking true. Turns out you can say whatever the fuck you want, guys. Like, what are you gonna do? Arrest me because I never put out a full album before the age of 18? Eat my farts, dude. I'm a free man. But what I do want to ask to you, Fleshman Hillard, best PR company in the world, or maybe like number 5 per the list that I found. What I want to know is, in this fast-paced, Instagram-worthy, go, 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 social networking, personal brand, personal space, intense, go-getter world, are these people going to see all this insane shit I said and just never believe me on everything ever? I probably believed that whole thing about, like, shooting for the moon, you know, end up in the stars. Have you heard that? Like, if you shoot for the moon, you land in the stars. Like, I know that that means to set your goals high and you'll still achieve great things. What I used to think that phrase meant is that I might be able to build a gun to shoot the moon out of the sky so people can never turn into werewolves again. But if I don't blow up the moon, I can at least know that my space gun ammo is just litter in space and that the moon knows I'm fucking serious. So, but that brings me to this, like, so what is it? What's more important? That I'm a person of my word, or that I'm setting my sights so high and believing in so many possibilities? I've even read somewhere that you're supposed to keep your expectations low and your enemies closer. I don't know, or something like that. I can't remember the phrasing. But I remember reading that if your expectations are low, you won't experience disappointment as much. So I guess I want to know if I did this all wrong. Was I only supposed to announce things that were a sure thing and keep my expectations low? Like, this whole time, was I not supposed to believe I could shoot that douchey moon out of the sky to end this terror of werewolves for good? So let me know. I realize that in this fast-paced, Instagram-worthy, go, 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 social media, networking, personal brand, personal space, intense, go, go, go getter world, that my brand is all I have. That's all I have. I have nothing without these social media likes. Nothing. Dear Fleshman Hillard, please tell me if these grandiose statements I've been saying are what you would be calling a PR nightmare. I'm looking forward to your input. Cheers, Alyssa. I needed to put a screen. I didn't realize the claps would be so pervasive, so I need to put like a rest screen because I was like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck up this reveal. Don't worry about that. That's editorializing. I have this is great. There's actually another project. I'm working on another podcast project, and I got a pretty big, I saved up a lot of money and got a really great placement in a really famous podcast, and they're doing this ad for me, and I'm super excited. So we're gonna get a sneak peek, which is very great. I'm Sarah Koenig, host of Serial, here to introduce you to a new podcast. You may remember in our second season of Serial, we dove deep into the story of Bo Bergdahl, a U.S. soldier who was a prisoner of the Taliban for 5 years after deserting his post. If you like that story, then check out the new season of Letter Talk Public Radio Investigates. It's about a music teacher that deserted her post during an elementary school recital. Is she outliving her life? Has she been murdered by a crazed grocery store employee? The reporters at Letter Talk Public Radio try to find out what happened. Letter Talk Public Radio Investigates, coming soon. All right. really excited. We've all been working real hard at Letter Talk Public Radio for that. This next one is a postcard we have, and it's got a fish, and it says, "I'm not stupid." It's always a good way to open any conversation with people. Hey, I'm not stupid. I'm sending it to Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it says, "Dear Neil deGrasse Tyson, if we want to get rid of werewolves, we're going to just have to shoot the moon out of the sky. Unless you want to spend the rest of time killing werewolves. That sounds like so much work. Let's just shoot the moon and be done with it. Would science agree to that?" So we'll find out, right? Thanks. It's almost like abrupt now. It's just like, and then it stops. And this last one is a thank you card I sent. This is great. This is a thank you card I got from, I bought a bed frame, and they sent me a bunch of thank you cards I could send to other people as a thank you to me, which is weird because it never would have occurred to me to send other people blank thank you cards as a thank you. I usually fill the card out and send it. So, man, innovation, bed frame company. So this is a thank you card. And I'm sending this thank you card to Home Depot. It says, "Thanks so much for putting your buckets on sale. It's been so much easier to carry my baby this week. I wish I knew earlier you could simply put a baby in a bucket. I love innovation. Yours in buckets, Alyssa." You guys, I'm so excited to cap off the show. I have a special guest. This is a really huge get for the Letter Talk podcast. I know you guys have been watching a lot of the news lately, and I know you guys have probably been following the impeachment, the impeachment of local comedy legend Winky Carmichael. And it's crazy that I even got him on the show, but he's here to talk a little bit about what's been going on. You guys, please welcome to the stage local comedy legend Winky Carmichael. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Allison, it's great to be here. This is wonderful. It's great.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me. Hey, everybody.
You guys,
Hey, this is what are you guys? An audience in oil painting. What's going on here?
Oh, Winky.
Oh,
That's just the fucking classic Winky stuff. So, I mean, before we get started, I mean, I know everybody knows who you are, but maybe just tell me a little bit more about yourself and some of your history.
Oh, well, you know, I'm just a traveling road comic up and down the California corridor. For example, next week, you can find me at Love Muscle Brewing Company with Ernie Crawford and Ambiguous Frank.
Oh my God.
He's got a YouTube channel, probably.
I love Ambiguous Frank.
He's so probably all right.
I mean, you know what? He's fucking Turlock's finest, though. He is incredible. Winky, does Winky stand for anything, by the way? I was just wondering. Is it Winkle?
No, it's just huh? You get it, guys? So,
Oh gosh.
you know,
Winky.
if it's a deep cut into a subject that they might not, you know, if something doesn't land very well, you got a mug for the audience, and it's just hey, you guys, huh? Yeah, that's you guys understand. Speaking of Turlock, I'm actually going to be at the Damp Basement show at Retro Tapes Depot in Turlock, California, with Gordy Y. He's a hockey comic, and A617 Space King, the stand-up of tomorrow. So both those guys, if you want to catch us at the Damp Basement show, Retro Tapes Depot in Turlock.
I love the comedian of tomorrow. I've been super into him since I saw him do that.
Yeah.
He was fucking incredible.
Yeah, he still
Great.
eats Dippin' Dots. It's not the ice cream of tomorrow anymore. Did you notice they took that off quietly? It's just look at a Dippin' Dots ad. It's not the ice cream of tomorrow anymore, guys. Tomorrow must be today. Eh?
Oh, Wink. I didn't realize that. I just ate Dippin' Dots, and I was really
Yeah.
excited, but I don't think it... I think my response was, I haven't seen one of these in years.
Yeah,
Like,
they disappeared, and then they showed up when tomorrow was, and now they're back again.
this, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm like still just like in super, like, I'm in like shock of just like
Holy.
excitement for being like near a fucking celebrity right now.
Yeah.
You guys might not notice this, but I remembered this, that Winky Carmichael here is the Fast Flashes Shrimp Cook-Off Tournament comedy winner of 2013.
That's right.
Did you know that? That's an
Yeah?
incredible. Yeah, that is an incredible credit. Not many people win Fast Flashes Shrimp Cook-Off Tournament comedy thing.
No, not in 2013. They didn't.
No.
No.
Exactly.
You want more credits? Well,
Please.
I did win the Smucker's Preserves Laugh Riot Invitational Comedy Competition in 2009. That was at Slump Busters in Tracy, California.
That was incredible. People still talk about that
They
day.
do. I ended up with so much jelly on me. The Smucker's Preserve. Huh? You guys?
I feel like I have some jelly right here because I am
Oh.
jelly of that credit.
I get
right?
what
You guys?
Yeah, I get what you did there. You need to emphasize it somehow with some sort of weird
mean,
facial tick
could be like,
that otherwise a normal company would just be, yeah, oh, that's not bad. You
Yeah,
workshop
is
that.
it?
Yeah.
"Ha,
Oh, you get the whole wind
But
up
I'm
and
like,
everything. Oh, okay.
jelly of you.
You just keep working on it.
That's
Kid.
pretty good. So yeah, I need a little practice.
That's all right. You gotta
Winky,
start somewhere, Allison.
thank you. Can't believe he knows my name.
Yeah.
So Winky, this is only the third time in Sacramento comedy history that a comedian has been impeached by the comedy scene.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that you're one of the comedians that this happened to? I mean, like the other two were like Right Said Ted, and like he just straight up murdered someone on stage, and like that was,
Yeah.
I mean, that was drama. And then there was like there was like Sandy McLaughlin, and it's just like, you know, you can't do that on stage.
No.
Like what she did, guys.
That's usually pay cable sort of stuff. You
Yeah.
can't get away with
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I mean, like normally, like I don't even know how she got any dead animals into the fucking place. Like it's just,
Not
it
every
was
club
a
checks their
lot.
bags. That's all right.
That's all I'm saying is it was a lot. But like Winky, I read that one of the articles of comedy impeachment
Mm-hmm.
was obstruction of the comedy scene. Like what does that mean?
I
And-
mean,
and
who
what do you
even
think?
knows what that means? But if you want to know what my act means, you can catch me the Coliseum Home Video Small Appliances Roast Battle next week. It's going to be held in that weird shared space between a joint Baskin-Robbins and an Extra Mile gas station convenience store. It's a weird location, but there's world-class performers. There's going to be Skimboard Tim. He's a prop comic.
Oh, I love Skimboard Town.
And Gene Arborday Halifax. He's got 75 minutes of the best tree-based material you will ever hear. If you're into trees, I don't know. That's kind of weird.
That's a good get.
That's a good lineup. I know.
That's a really
In
good
that weird
get.
space between. Usually, I mean, sometimes it's a Jack in the Box on a gas station. You know, where you walk into one, and you know if it's a shared bathroom. Is this a Jack in the Box bathroom? Is this a
Yeah.
gas station bathroom?
No, I feel
Can
you.
I take a drink from this side, go that side? We set up the stage right there, right in the middle there.
This is just some classic Winky.
Yeah.
This is classic Winky. I get that though. Who knows what kind of bathroom you're in? If it's a green burrito
Yeah.
or a Carl's Jr.
Well,
You know, what are you gonna do at that point?
I don't know. Come
Oh.
on, you gotta work it in. You gotta,
What?
yeah.
What are you gonna do at that point?
Ah, see, it's getting
It's-
all, yeah.
Sometimes I just feel like it's not gonna happen for me.
Oh, that's
If I don't get a thing,
oh yeah.
how's anyone gonna remember me?
That won't. That's the thing. You will be forgotten by comedy history. You gotta have a thing. You gotta like who I got here. I gotta hold it. Oh, Gary the Table Guy. You know Gary the Table Guy.
Of course I know Gary the
He'll
Table
see
Guy.
somebody
Who
like
doesn't know Gary the
You'll
Table
see somebody
Guy?
up front row, and he'll shake the table and be wobbling. And he'll say, you got a wobbly table there. And he dances around for 5 minutes. That's his gimmick. And every comedy club's got a wobbly table, so it's like a 95% hit rate with Gary the Cable Guy, or the Table Guy. Oh, I gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, don't. I mean, I know he gets real mad about that. He's just
Yeah.
like, stop confusing us. But it's really hard to not confuse them because both their Netflix specials are like they're next to each other
Yeah, they
on
got
the thing.
algorithm. That's
Yeah.
they're such different guys. You think they wouldn't fall into the same. Hey, if you want to catch me next week, I'm gonna be in Dillard, California, at the Dive Hole with Oval Dave and the 416 Flamethrowers crew. It's a bunch of guys from 416. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, where is 416?
Is that an area code?
Internet?
Oh, let's see if it actually is one, since I didn't look it up and I just made up if 416 was an area code.
Steven's got it.
Oh, no, we got a fact checker in the audience.
Ontario, Canada.
Oh, Canadians. You
Oh my
can't
God.
trust them.
International comedian Winky Carmichael.
Well, the
So-
Flamethrower crew is, yeah, I know.
Oh.
I'm not
can't-
a member
I
of
mean,
I don't get out of California. I'm only allowed to tour in California. Yeah. Well, I mean, I call him my booker. Parole agent,
yeah, for the-
booker. They share a lot of the same responsibilities, mostly telling me where to go.
God, that's that Winky charm.
No.
Do you have any advice for new comics?
Yeah, get in as many festivals as you can. I mean, what's $20 to $70 a pop? You were just gonna buy coffee drinks with those and your avocado toast, and
Winky, what's your what festival do you think has shaped you the most as a comic?
well, let's see which ones I haven't said yet. Well, let's see. I've gone to it the last couple years here. This in a couple weeks, I'm going to be going to the 156th annual Truckee Comedy Festival, Strongman Competition, and Pelt Trading Bazaar. That's in Truckee, California.
Who books that?
Dillard Kettlecorn. I hadn't used that name yet. Dillard Kettlecorn.
The Dillard Kettle Corn Festival?
No, he just books it. Don't be crazy.
Oh, that's who books it. I'm sorry, I thought this was a new festival.
No, he's a big. You asked me who books it. He books the Truckee Comedy Festival, Strongman Competition, and
God,
Pelt Trading Bazaar.
There's still so much I don't. You know, you can do a thing for a long time and still not know everything about the thing you're doing. You can still learn so much.
Nope.
Like these
Don't know nothing about that. I knew everything hitting the ground running. I was out there. I had the catchphrases and the go-to physical ticks, and I did props for a while, but that got expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of props did you start with?
Well, I used to end. I was a big fan of what was her name? I was a big fan of Calamity Kate.
Yeah.
She used to
who
end.
wasn't?
Yeah, she used to end all of her shows by shooting honeydew melons. And so I tried that for a while,
Yeah.
and that's why I can't do shows outside of California anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That
this
was
one honeydew.
part of the impeachment articles were saying that it was just like can't be near guns, gotta stay in a state with more gun control.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
Winky.
You know, if you want to
Thank
catch me
you.
in 2011, I'm booking ahead, guys. I'm going to be at the High Top Brewing Company in Reading with Mama Truth and Billy Tonight Show, the comic who is available to be booked on the Tonight Show.
Oh shit.
It's Billy Tonight Show.
That is a big lineup. Would it be overstepping if I asked to have contact to your parole officer to get on some of these shows?
Oh, it's easy to get in contact with him. Just miss somebody when you're shooting your finale. The human head reacts a lot like a honeydew. Weirded me
man.
out too.
Sounds it. You know what? Sometimes performing is stressful.
It
It's
is.
just, you know,
It's so much work.
it's a lot. It's a lot of work. Like, so, Winky, what are you most excited for the future?
Oh, any number of things I've already said. But then we've got coming up in March. March. I'm gonna be at Giggles Galore in Petaluma for the 77th annual Lucky Strike Lung Butter Knock Knock Battle.
Oh.
I'm gonna be starting the first round against Particle Steve, the microscopic comic.
He's so fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
That's gonna be such a good lineup.
They just set up a stool on stage and put a microphone next to it. And I won't get into all of Particle Steve's act, but it's not as impressive once you know how it's done.
You know, don't take the magic away from
No,
me.
I wouldn't.
I've been
do
a
that.
fan of Particle Steve since I was a small child. If anything happened, it's gonna ruin me.
Mhm.
Oh no, that was very ominous.
that meant to sound
Now
not
I'm
ominous, but
now
I
I'm
have
so-
one of those ominous voices.
Winky. I'm so stressful. Are you working on any new material? Anything exciting? Any joke that you're just any stuff that's really inspiring you? What's your muse these days?
Well, I wrote basically everything that I continue to tour on in 1989.
I mean, it was a great year. That's when Taylor Swift came out with one of her albums.
It was
It's-
probably not. I mean,
Well, that's the name of the title, and I don't know why you would name your album the name of a year if it didn't come out that year.
You know
it's
what?
fucked up. Like 1984.
Yeah.
That book came out in 1984.
it did. Yeah.
Like
2001, that movie that just came out
It-
18 years ago.
Yeah. Dracula the movie 2000
Yeah.
came out in the year 2000. Like, I mean, if you're gonna put numbers on a book, I'm gonna believe you. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, so sue me. I'm.
Very literal that way.
Yeah. No.
So,
I'm just literal.
that's good.
You guys, I think
Keep working it.
I think we're gonna have to wrap it up. But Winky, thank you so much
Oh,
for
thank
coming to
you.
the show,
Thanks
making
for
time out of your
having
busy
me.
schedule. You guys,
Very
give it up
busy.
for Winky Carmichael,
Thanks, everybody.
local legend.
I'll be at the
Local legend.
Awesome. I'll buy it.
Oh, that's fine. I forgot to put here. I'll put the sign here if that makes you feel better. Now you guys just want to see Jeb Bush. Now everyone just wants to see Jeb Bush, which I completely appreciate. You guys, thank you so much for coming to Letter Talk Live. This happens every third Saturday at 7 p.m. Right here, same place. If you like the show, head to the website, lettertalkpodcast.com. Tell a friend. We also there's stickers out front, and then there's an email sign up. If you sign up in there, I send an email with new episodes, and then you can get free show tickets from there sometimes. And subscribe to the podcast if you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to. But yeah, it's thank you so much for being here. I'm super pumped to have you guys. Stick around for the next show. It's going to be Corey and Friends. It's a comedy show of stand-up comedy. I'm going to be on it too. I'm just going to be here all night, I guess. Like I'll probably drop into this show. I'll probably be on that. I'm probably going to make a show and just put it right here. And then we're just going to keep this night rolling. So thank you guys for coming so much. Yeah, have a good night.